Welcome to another episode of Sanford Says. My name is Lisa Holder. I'm the communications officer for the City of Sanford. And in this episode, we have an incredible guest with us. His name is Tom Tomerlin. Tom is the City of Sanford's new Economic Development Director. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It's great to be here with you. And although we work right down the hall from one another, we are both talking in the same room but with our masks on.
Exactly.
I certainly hope that our mask, my mask at least, gives me a much stronger voice.
That's great. And so, as Tom said, Tom is when I said new, so we're like, what is it, the third week, Tom, that you're
I'm
here?
at 2.5 weeks in, two and a
Points.
half weeks.
2.5 weeks
Yep.
in, and I'll just briefly give a background of Tom's experience. And he brings nearly 30 years of experience, including economic development leadership positions for Seminole County government and the city of Lake Mary, our neighbors next door. And so he was instrumental in recruiting Fortune 500 companies to Lake Mary and advancing strategic initiatives in the community. So, welcome, Tom. And I'll read a quote from our city manager, Mr. Norton Bonaparte. He says, Tom's local knowledge and economic development experience will help us attract, retain, and expand the business footprint in the great city of Sanford. So, welcome, Tom. And on this episode, we just wanted to get to know you, welcome you, and say hello and share some of your maybe thoughts and ideas of what you would like to see in the city of Sanford under your leadership.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Lisa Holder. I have to tell you that my first 2.5 weeks, as Lisa said, everyone has just been so warm and welcoming at the city, and I think it just stands out that Sanford's got such a soul, it's got such a heart, and I'm thrilled to be here. Sanford is kind of, honestly, being a Seminole County native, born and raised in Seminole County, Sanford is kind of the downtown for the whole county, and people, I think, although they might not want to admit it, those that live elsewhere, it really is the downtown for the entire county. And there's a lot going on. I like to think of Sanford as kind of that complete city, and I say that word complete city because it has all the components that you think a city would have. It has its own airport, it has a zoo even, it has a wonderful waterfront, it has a historic district. So all those things kind of blend together to make a quality of life that I think people are really beginning to recognize of late. And I'm just thrilled to come here and see what I can do in terms of growing the local economy.
Yeah, and so speaking of growing the local economy, so Tom, what is exactly an economic development director? Like the definition of that for people that may not know exactly what economic development directors do.
Well, as we both just said, it really is about growing the local economy, but there is kind of a special target that economic developers like to concentrate on. And that special target are the kinds of businesses that basically do business outside the local area. So we do kind of specialize in trying to bring in industry businesses that sell their goods and services outside the local area of Sanford. Hopefully, they can sell them statewide, they could sell them nationally, or even internationally. And the idea behind that is when you attract those kinds of businesses, any kind of manufacturer is a great example of that. But when you attract those kinds of businesses into your local community, basically you're selling these goods elsewhere and they're giving you money in exchange for it. And so you basically increase the pot of money that is circulating locally. So that is a big goal of economic developers. However, it's not the only goal. Probably the most basic definition of economic development is to do things that improve quality of life. And so that is really the thing that we try to concentrate on. Obviously, getting those primary industries into your community is a way to improve quality of life, but a quality of life also means a thriving little downtown, a good restaurant, entertainment scene, having experiential type retail to go to. So all those things are ingredients for a community. And so, an economic developer is kind of a jack of all trades. Most important, an economic developer tries to connect dots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they try to connect people with resources. So, economic developer, like I said, is a jack of all trades, They try to do connecting, but they also always try to do that connecting with a broader picture of growing that local economy once again.
Right, and I think Sanford is so ripe for all of this. And if you ever, if you're listening and have been to Sanford, you have seen the growth that our city has experienced, and just in the last like 2 years, 3 years, each year we grow exponentially. It seems like, and attract businesses continually. So this is wonderful. So. Tom, so what, as an economic development director, this is some wonderful information that you've shared, and you have some connection too with the city's community redevelopment agency. Is that typical if you were an economic development director in another city town and they had a CRA? Would the economic development director work in tandem with the community redevelopment agency, the CRA?
So we have a community redevelopment agency, which oversees a community redevelopment area, which is the downtown Sanford area. So it's a commercial CRA. It's the commercial historic district, basically. And a lot of cities do not have CRAs. Other cities do have CRAs. What's really typical throughout the state of Florida is that the person that manages that CRA is maybe in a planning department or maybe they're in an economic development department. I think it's great that the city of Sanford has decided to put the CRA management under the economic development umbrella because it always has that sight towards what can we do to make this a vital downtown. So vitality is kind of a key ingredient to thinking about how the CRA operates within Sanford. And that vitality eventually is good for the city because it means, as property gets redeveloped, refurbished, new facades, that also increases the tax base. And that's also something important about having a redevelopment area is being able to increase the tax base. And with that increased tax base, we're able to sustain and continue all those services, for instance, the Live After 5 and all those type things that occur in the downtown. So the short answer to your question, Lisa, is that typically a CRA resides, it could be its own agency and managed separately, or it might reside within the city's planning department or within their economic development department. The management of the CRA is actually done under economic development, which I'm the director of. However, that CRA board, the decision-making board, is actually selected by our city commission, and they are enabled to make decisions, including spending decisions that come in front of that CRA.
Exactly, like streetscapes and things like that, and $1 million projects, correct, Tom?
That's right.
Yeah.
So those are just some of the things that CRAs try to concentrate on is what can we do once again to increase that tax base. And so we do have a grant program for sod improvements. We have a grant program for new construction and renovation. So it's all about, kind of pumping capital into the downtown area of Sanford such that it continues to thrive and be vital.
Right. And so can we share, if someone's listening out there and they have a business contact, or they would like more information as it relates to to business, how can people reach you now that you're here in Sanford?
Well, they can find me if they go to the Economic Development Department on the city's webpage, or they can call me direct, and my phone number is 407 688 5015. Once again, that's 407 688 5015. And my email is tom.tomerlin, and my last name is spelled Tomerlin, at sanfordfl.gov.
And that Sanford website is sanfordfl.gov too. That's to find more information about economic development. And I do know that economic development, you work closely with the chambers in our area. And specifically, there's a new program that the Seminole County Chamber has created that sounds really interesting. It's free, it's open to the public, and it's called City Spotlight. And the next City Spotlight, I think, coming up is Sanford's.
That's right.
And you'll be speaking.
That's right. And I will have a almost two months of tenure under my belt, but when I'm able to present this. But it's March 31st. That's a Wednesday night from 4 to 6 p.m. And that's at the Sanford Civic Center. So once again, March 31st, which is a Wednesday night, 4 to 6 p.m., Sanford Civic Center. And this is basically a chance for the city to spotlight some economic development efforts it's pursuing. And that's kind of the focus of this new program with the Seminole County Chamber, is to highlight what the cities have been doing from the economic development perspective. And so I'm thrilled to present that on March 31st. And like Lisa said, that's free. You just have to register, and I think she'll provide a link.
Yes, on the city's Facebook page, we have we're co-hosting that through social media. We shared the event that the Seminole County Chamber has created, and that's on our Facebook page, the City of Sanford Facebook page, and also the Seminole County Chamber Facebook page. And I believe this is like the first one City Spotlight that they're doing with Sanford in general. So it seems to be pretty interesting, and if free of rent, want to learn about economic development and how the private sector works with businesses and government, come on down to the Chamber of the Sanford Civic Center, but make sure you register first. And the link is available on the Facebook pages that we mentioned before. And just a little side note about Tom, you are a native Central Floridian,
I am.
correct?
I'm a native Central Floridian, actually a native to Seminole County. As a matter of fact, I will tell you this, and it didn't occur to me, but actually my first home was in the city of Sanford, and but I moved at the age of 3, and I just don't recall it too well.
Yes.
And but we moved to Lake Mary, and that has been basically my home ever since. So yes, I guess that is actually becoming a little bit rare these days, is to run into a native, but I'm thrilled to be back. I'm thrilled to be working for, like I said, everyone's downtown is really downtown Sanford.
Yes.
Within the county, and I'm thrilled to be working here. There's so many assets that this city has, and it doesn't. And on first thought, many of them don't come to you, but when you start to study and look around this city, you see that there's a lot, and probably the most important of those is just the people. I've had a chance to live in other states, and I can tell you from experience that you don't really know what you have until you don't have it anymore. And living in other places, the biggest asset that this community has is just the heart and soul that this city has, and I'm thrilled to be part of it. So thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. And so should we say go Gators, actually, because Tom has a Doctor of Philosophy in Economics from the University of Florida. So
I am doing the chomp, as she said,
yes,
right now.
Yes. So and a Master's of Science degree from Clemson University, South Carolina. So I'm sure that's Tigers, right?
That's the Tigers. As a matter
okay.
of fact, I was there before the football team. Now it's a football school, and a lot more people are aware of Clemson now that they've become the big football school.
Right. So, well, there's a little bit of background about Tom Tomerlin, the City of Sanford's new Economic Development Director. His office is in the city manager's office here at City Hall on the 2nd floor, and you heard Tom's contact information. Welcome, Tom, and we look forward to working with you. I know communications and economic development work in side by side quite often on a lot of projects, and
different sides to the same coin, Lisa Holder.
Yeah, that's correct. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, Tom? I know this won't be your last podcast, that's for sure.
Well, if I did a good job this time, I would love to come back.
Yes, certainly. You're welcome anytime. Well, there you have it. Tom Tomerlin, the City of Sanford's new Economic Development Director. This is Lisa Holder, Communications Officer for the city, and you could find this podcast wherever you subscribe to your favorite podcast, and we hope this is one of your favorites now. And also on the city website at sanfordfl.gov/podcast. Thank you for listening. Until next time, be safe out there. Have a great day. Bye.